Holy crap. I just gotta say how perfect this is.
I cannot remember the last time I heard the ballad of the endless spring.
Oh my goodness.
Now there's a ditty worth
I'm like speechless. Like, that is so perfect. Let's talk to Shadowheart.
Starting to wonder if you'd show up.
I look so cool. Are you joking? I've been counting the days. I had reservations, actually. I thought it might be too bittersweet. Of course I did. Hardly imagine. You lot can hardly manage without me. Yep.
You can say that with a straight face after all the times I had to come to your aid.
Shh.
Oh,
None of that.
come here, will you? It's been forever.
Oh, this is so cool. The fact that you can just like, yeah, just like have this cool moment. See my guns?
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
Yeah, you know, I've been working out. I've been just absolutely destroying demons. You know, I missed that actually. Are you calling me chubby? Take that as a compliment. You look good too. Yeah.
I suppose I do, don't I?
She looks great.
I'm glad you seem well. Trudy.
Feelings mutual. Not to get too sentimental. Tell me what you've been up to. You must be wondering what I've been doing this past while. Now tell me what you've been up to.
Wandering, mostly. The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister.
I thought you might crave a little peace and quiet after all that's happened, or sounds like you're doing right. Come on, tell. Where have you been? What have you seen?
One of my first stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep. It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. God, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long.
Parents would be proud. Or you're right, I was truly heroic. Your parents would be proud of you.
Oh, I know they are. I can still sense them, I think. And one day we'll be reunited.
What else have you been doing?
Well, I've had run-ins with my former fellow Sharans on a couple of occasions. Word seems to have spread of what happened at the cloister. Now other chapters of Shar worshippers see me as a prime target to offer up to their lady as a sacrifice. Don't worry. I know their tired old tricks better than anyone. They'll need more than a hooded cloak and poisoned blade to best me. Especially when I have a friend on the inside keeping me abreast of their predictable little plans.
What's her face? Wait, you mean Nocturne? What was that lady that was in the... Let's ask. Friend inside, you mean Nocturne?
None other. The matter of her faith and allegiances remains complicated, let's say. But she is still my oldest friend. I have hopes that perhaps she might turn from Shar entirely given time. But that's a decision she will have to make for herself. If that day comes, I'll be ready.
You must be wondering what I've been doing this past while.
Must I? You presume a great deal.
Come on, you know you
I'm
like
joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all.
You're polite to ask when I must reek of brimstone. Been carving my way through Avernus with Karlach. What a sentence. Oh, you know, this and that. I visited Candle Deep to research Ballspawn history. The librarians really fussed over me. No, okay. Yeah, we're gonna say it. You're polite to ask when I must reek of brimstone, carving my way through Avernus with Karlach. My guy is the Doom guy. We have become the Doom guy, and that is amazing. and Karlach is my Dune Lady.
I'm glad you two have each other. Hells, I'd be almost tempted to come along if you'd have me. Perhaps if your adventures ever lead you out of Avernus permanently. Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but at least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves.
Don't worry, we'll keep in touch. Getting a group of friends to regularly agree to a time and place can prove challenging. Wow, that is a commentary. That line is a commentary on how hard it is to get a group of people together to play D&D. That's what that is. That's amazing. That is very, very self-aware. No, we'll keep in touch.
I'm sure we will, but let's be proactive about it all the same. We're more than capable.
I agree.
After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few social calendars.
This is such a commentary. Yep.
Don't be a stranger.
Oh, I love talking to her. You know what? I just realized I looked over at my recording time, and I just realized that I'm gonna have to break this into 2 episodes again, because I got so many people I want to talk to here, and I want to talk to everybody. I don't want to skimp out on it just to get to the end and then wrap up this episode. So yeah, I probably have already had made the cut. I will do it before this, and yeah, so that way you know when I said that the previous episode is going to be the final episode. Technically, that is true. This is the epilogue, I guess, right? Can I? Oh, he's got the
There's
thing.
something strange in your old friend's mouth. What is it?
What do you got there, Scratch?
A familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped. But it isn't a ball. It's the astral prism.
Where the hell did you find this boy?
He whines. Less talk, more throw.
Right. All right, let's give him a pet. Oh, good puppy. So glad Withers remembered to invite my favorite companion.
Scratch barks merrily in something like agreement.
Oh. Okay. Ooh, owlbear. Let's talk to the owlbear. So cool. You know, I totally forgot that we could have called our allies, and I just didn't. During that encounter, I could have used my call allies. I brought them together like the stones from oh crap, why am I blanking on the name of them? You know what I'm talking about. I gotta explain. So I called them all together to be able to like do that big moment, the big hero moment where everybody comes through and like saves the day. And nah, totally forgot they existed. Didn't even need them actually, as it turns out. I kind of dominated. Pet him. It's cool that we got the owlbear. Good to see you. What have you been up to since we last met? Yeah, like that's gonna work. I can't talk to the freaking owlbear. I don't have any talking with him.
There's a face I know well indeed.
All right, let's talk to Volo.
Ah, it's the star of the show. Our humble protagonist who forsook Baal to save the city. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
Have you come seeking a statement for your next tell-all?
Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form.
Gotcha.
You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
The hero and I? No?
I, me, it's all Volo as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Of course you would. Okay, yeah.
There you
Great.
are. I was hoping you'd make your way over.
Hello, Will.
Gods, I smell like a 70-year-old cinder. Withers yanked me from Avernus with my blade halfway through a Cambion's belly without so much as a chance at washing up. And from the smell of it, you're in the same condition.
I mean, you could come hang out with us if you're
I'll
going to be
forget
there, I
all
guess.
that. By the stars' light and the moon's glow, it's so good to see you. And I've got so much to tell you. The Hell Hunt's no mere duty. It's a thrill. The demons I've disintegrated, the devilkin I've bled, the stories I could share.
Okay, maybe you should be with us.
I don't suppose you'd indulge me.
A tale of battle told by legendary Blade of Avernus. I'm all ears.
Yes, but just the one, or I'll be yammering all night. You want to hear about the Amnitsu at the Styx, the three-tusked Orthon, or the invading Goristroy?
Okay, that's the three-tusked Orthon.
Word travels fast when a devil crosses the Delembir Vale near Daggerford. It had traveled a hell rift to a long-forsaken shrine. Luckily, the trail it scorched into the frontiers was hard to miss. It led to an isle of cracked rock in Avernus, floating amid a molten sea. The Orthon stood heaving, breath like brimstone and ash. And then it charged, splitting the ground with every thud so fast it left a trail of smoke. I could barely nick it, not with a blade, not with an arrow. It was the war devil's weight that proved its own undoing. The third charge it made, I struck the rock with hail of thorns. The ground split apart the moment the beast stomped onto it. The Orthon slowly sunk, howling into the magma beneath. I let two of its tusks sink with it. The third, I sliced free and presented to the first Duke of Daggerford, a rare trophy to grace his walls.
I swear that was a really boring story. I miss traveling with you. You're a pleasure to be around. Yep.
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side.
No. Done a lot of killing for a warlock without his powers.
I won't lie. Losing the eldritch blasts and the hexes took some getting used to. Nothing but void, where once there was hellfire. So I stoked new fires in myself using the lessons my father once taught me. The Blade of Avernus is a ranger, a hunter of the most hellish prey.
Cool. Good job, Will.
Go on, the night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Okay. Should we talk to Karlak real quick? Let's talk to Karlak.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. Withers, you mad bastard! You brought us back!
I love her.
Thunderzula won't know where the fuck we went! Ha! Oh, man, I can't wait to say hi to everyone. Look at them, the beauts. Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be all right for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first time in 6 months.
Looking forward to that, but first, a bit of fun. Now that you can breathe a little, how about a hug? Aww. Yeah.
Always.
Aww. It's very cute. I kind of like how this turned out. Even though I didn't manage to romance her, I like how this turned out. You sure your engine will be all right?
She's got a knight in her, I think. Any trouble and I'll toddle back off to hell quick as you please.
Yeah. Bit of fun.
Here, here. Enjoy it, soldier. You've earned it.
Cool.
Oh, hey. Before you go, I've been thinking about those blueprints we found. Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I'm sure she knows I'll want in. She'll do anything to stop me from fixing this thing. I might have an in with one of the guards, though. An old acquaintance called Flo. Not sure she'll help us, but maybe. We might get to come home. Permanently. Maybe even sooner than we think.
This is what I'm talking about, baby. This is what I'm talking about. Because that was the whole reason I was like, let's go to Avernus. One, I get to defeat demons with her, and that's fun. Two, because we needed to find another way. She can't just die. That's anticlimactic. She can't just die. So yeah, finding another way is the way.
There you are.
Hey, Gale.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
I see Mistra didn't smite you in the end. That's a great one. Hug him. Yeah, just hug him. Hey, buddy. Come here. I know, I've beefed up a bit. Shadowheart told me you don't have to say anything. Did you just smell me?
Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mistra, to be more specific. She sought me out. Not long after, we went our separate ways, and assured me neither she nor the orb should pose me any threat in the future.
Oh, good. That worked out.
Of course, it's still in there. A constant reminder of my former hubris. And a surprisingly effective means of keeping my more disobedient students in line. Perhaps a tad too effective. But I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
It's funny. Don't worry, I can say from experience, you're an excellent teacher. Or go on then, convince me. Why is illusory magic so much fun? Sounds dull as brass. Wouldn't you rather be out on another adventure? Let's say that.
I confess, sometimes while marking a student's 5th attempt at explaining the principles of illusory materialization, the thought occurs to me. In fact, I've actually been considering writing down the story of our adventures. The true tale of our flawed but ultimately endearing troupe, and the trials and tribulations we overcame. I can hardly leave it to the likes of Volo to give a true account of our adventures. And no one would believe him if he did.
That odious man truly frizzles my whiskers.
It's you.
Long-haired miniature dragon, he calls me. Tressim is much less of a mouthful.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Oh, I'm glad he asked. Paladin, I've been following my path, the path my oath laid to me. My doctrine holds fast, as does my pledge to aid those it protects. Even heard the latest tales of my heroics. Or Avernus is interesting. We've been making a mess down there, that's for sure. Let's do my Paladin one.
From you, I'd expect nothing less. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you.
Of course, perhaps the discipline of my oath will help them avoid the wayward paths of less principles of your kind. The healing of my cranial trauma would be a prime case. No, I'm like, no, I'll do the boring paladin choice.
Well, I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening.
Yes.
So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
This is cool. This is a really cool epilogue. I am very much enjoying this. Baldur's Mouse Gazette. I'm sure I could read those. Chest of Grateful Words. All right, what is that? Let's look at that. I wonder if I could go back there. Probably can. In fact, there is something back there. End your adventure. Oh, okay, there you go. Official guild letter. Floric. Damon. Elminster. Zevlor. Man, there's a lot here that I'm not going to read because I am losing my voice. So, yeah. I'm assuming they're all like, thank you for saving us. Who is you? Millil, the Forgotten Troubadour. Okay. I haven't talked to Halson. Let's talk to Lae'zel next.
I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a royal inquisitor's head.
You know, she finally seems free. After all this time, she is free.
Were it not for you, I might not have known the value of partnership, connection. I found new allies now. New friends. People I trust and who trust me in return. We've heard word of a Githyanki outpost hidden deep in Chult. The last of Vlaakith's Sword Coast strongholds.
Cool.
I don't suppose you'd consider fleeing the Hells and joining us there to slay every last Sarth and Kithrak.
Okay, so bit of side story. Chult is an island. It's like a tropical island where there's like dinosaurs and whatnot. There is an adventure called the Tomb of Annihilation, which the basic story of it is that there's a curse that has like hit the world, and people can't be brought back to life, and you have to go to Chult and figure out what's going on. It's a really, really cool adventure. Probably my favorite that Wizards of the Coast has done for 5th edition. Not that I'm super happy with anything they're doing lately, but you know what? I think that is my favorite thing that they had released in the past like 5 years. And I've ran it with my wife and several friends, and we just had a blast. But I believe the Githyanki are there. I think you do come across the thing of Githyanki, if I remember correctly. But it's cool that she mentions that. I'm sorry, Lae'zel. I belonged at Karlach's side. I wish I could, but I'm stuck killing devils in Avernus. Oh, do sod off now. Look, I belong at Karlach's side. Right now, that is... I told her I would be there for her. I told her that she will not be alone there. And right now, we're trying to get her to be free. Then we'll come help you.
Your loyalty to her knows no bounds. Nor, it seems, does your fortitude. You impressed me from the beginning, you know. It was my own foolish pride that ever kept me from admitting it. to you or myself.
Oh,
I just wanted you to know that.
she likes me.
Now go, mingle while you can. That's the word, right? Mingle? We'll meet again. The hells are too small to contain a soul as tremendous as yours.
Aw, that was really sweet. I love that her character arc is as good as it is. You know, she is free. She is free from what she was before, and I love that. Let's read the Gazette. Whoa, this is really well done. Criminals consolidate. Guild uses rebuilding efforts to expand power. Kind of knew that would happen. Not really that big of a deal. You know what? Here's actually a great thing to consider. Good in a way and bad in another. Every well-working city has a criminal undertone to it because they actually help the lower class to find purpose, even though it is criminal purpose. In a lot of cases, it keeps them fed, right, and having some type of employment. It would be better if they weren't doing criminal deeds, but you know, there's a reason the guild exists, so it's okay for them to be there, in my opinion. Absolute emergency over, declares Fist. Last Illithids routed from sewers. Baldur's Mouth editor resigns. Links to Gortash regime unfounded. Interesting. And then Shress's raconteur Raphael. Oh, yeah, of course, because we killed him. Reported dead. Black magic. Devil. That was really hard to say. Devil's fee goods still unaccounted for. Right. And then Selenite outpost decimated by unknown assailant, now protected by the sword of Saloon. Dame Aelin. Yes, it is. Oh, I wish Aelin was here, actually. That would be great. Apparently not. Let's talk to Halcyon, and then we'll talk to Esther.
Someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more.
Let me guess, just as nature intended. I'm gonna say the feeling's mutual. I missed you.
We have all pined for each other's company, I sense. I cannot imagine otherwise after what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
You sound like you need a hug. Sound like you need a drink. The future's ours to write. Who knows what we might yet share together.
You are right, of course. I am accustomed to dwelling on the past, even when it brought me nothing but unhappiness. You changed that, and gave me the most precious of memories. Now the task is to make yet more of them, so that each reunion shall be all the sweeter. And who's to say we need to make such gatherings a rare occasion? My hearth is yours to warm yourself beside always.
Oh.
Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Oh, you know, I'm the Doomslayer. You first, House, and I want to hear about the life you've made, the people you've helped.
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them.
Oh, that's cool.
The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
That's really cool. I recall you have quite a few young wards to care for. 9 wagons of them, wasn't it?
My greatest purpose and greatest reward. Those children have been through more than fate had any right to cast at them, and yet they go on as resilient as anything in nature. I impart what knowledge I can to them, yet, in truth, they teach me far more. The land we saved is theirs, and they will cherish it, I'm sure. Thaniel and Oliver shall never want for friends again.
I need to see this place for myself. Yep.
You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please.
Cool.
Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
Had I known bedtimes were a possibility, I'd sought you out at camp. Oh my goodness. I see. I expect you'll have a few tales that will need to wait until they are older. All right, let's see what I have.
I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
Regale Halsin with tales for your past 6 months. The truth may be a little flat, spice it up. No, Avernus has proven lively, but at least Karlach by my side. Her laugh parts the clouds. Dragonborn, how about a ghost story now? Or recount fighting alongside Karlach against the devils and demons. Now regale Halsin with the tales of your past 6 months.
You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less, in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you. And should you wish to retell of your exploits in person, well, I shall not object to a night off. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
Tell me about Thaniel and Oliver. Do you seem... I don't really care about the kids, to be perfectly honest. Still partial to roaming in bear form, I take it? You seem more settled than I expected of you. I thought it was against your nature.
As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age.
That's cool. May I have a hug? Turn to leave. Yeah, what of the Grove?
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
That's cool. Still partial to roaming in bear form, I take it.
I spend half my days in Ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be.
Cool. Turn to leave.
Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
It's lovely, thank you. Does it do anything? You're a sentimental creature at heart, or this may fetch a modest price. No, it's lovely.
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
Oh, cool. Okay. Astarion.
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And look at you. Straight from the hells, still reeking of brimstone. I take it you've been having fun.
Kinda, yeah, actually. Astarion, I could hug you. It's been tough, but at least I'm there with Karlach. Yeah.
Yes, the right person can make just about anything bearable. And it seems like you found exactly the right person.
Oh, you're in a good mood. Have you been drinking? What about you? How's my favorite bloodsucker? Last time I saw you, you were running from the sun. What happened?
Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dock and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. Part of me was relieved you left so quickly after the battle. I felt ashamed. Like I'd lost everything. Just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that.
Oh.
But time lent perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more. I had freedom, strength, a whole new life. And it was time to live it. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. Apparently, I'm rather good at it.
You are, actually. I could have told you that. Astarion, one of the good guys. Who would have thought? Yeah.
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
He's like Batman now, isn't he? Do you ever miss walking in the sun? You seem happy. Are you sure you haven't been drinking blood? No, do you ever miss walking in the sun?
I did at first. But then I realized these shadows, this darkness, it's all a part of me. I spent too long defined by what other people did to me, the choices other people made for me. But that's over now. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
I'm glad to hear it. Acceptance looks good on you.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
That's really cool. I'm happy for him, you know? I'm very happy for him. Okay, so I've talked to everybody, right? I've talked to Shadowheart and Will, Karlach, Volo, Halsin, Gale. I haven't talked to Withers. Is he around here? That would be a good one, right? Because he's the one who brought us here. Is Withers even here? Can I open up my map? It's here. That guy, Karlach, Volo, Lae'zel, Will, Astarion, Shadowheart, Halsin. Nope. Okay. I'm not going to talk to the cat.
Here. Damn.
I got a lot to say. Let's go end our adventure.
Better not be cursed.
No, I don't want to click on the door. Oh, Withers isn't here. Okay, good.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
Just glad you are glad to have a break from the hells. It's the little things. Or I'm proud. You gave me a new life, another chance. I did my best with it. I love that line. I almost have to go there with that one. I only protected the city from itself and my fault. Can't help but feel some things have been left undone. Or I'm getting tired. I might just go to bed. I think I've caught up with everyone. What comes next? No, I'm proud. You gave me a new life, another chance. I did my best with it.
I am pleased to hear it. The satisfaction of one's intention is, to my surprise, a rare accomplishment. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
Think I've caught up with everyone. What comes next?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words.
I was the bad guy.
It is over.
The whole time.
For now.
Ah.
Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself. But for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready. For thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
To Baldur's Gate, to the greatest friends I could dream of, to all of you, my real family. Oh, that's a cute one. The brains without worms and a good night's sleep. To the hope of more adventures to come. No, to all of you, my real family. Yeah, I like that one.
To you.
I mean, no wonder this game won Game of the Year. Finish the game with a heartfelt thank you from Larian Studios. Yep. No thank you. In loving memory of our friend and colleague Jim Southworth, cinematic animation lead. Yep. And directed by Sven. Sven did such a great job. I freaking... Like, Larian was already becoming one of my favorite studios making games. Because of Divinity, Original Sin, and Original Sin 2. And just like what they did with that. And the kind of the story behind that. And then being able to gear up and make this just a masterpiece. Just freaking excellent job on his part. He did a really good job. And, you know, games take a long time to make. And he may not have many more in him. And to make this as a game that will forever live in the history books of an absolute classic and a game that will change the industry. That's insane. And he did such a good job. So congratulations to Larian and to all of the developers you see in the background. I say this any time that I finish a game. They deserve all the credit here. They're the ones who did the thing. They made the game. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do this well and on such a complicated game. Like the average person cannot fathom the amount of work that went into this game to make it as good as it is. But as someone who has spent time in game design, the crazy web of decisions that your characters can make throughout this game and how it affects the game is just unfathomable. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I wish one day NoClip or someone will go and make a documentary on this game because it is just a masterpiece. But let's talk about our story. Let's talk about how it ended and my thoughts. I'm really, really happy that my fear didn't come true and that Karlach would just die. but it was going that direction. And then all of a sudden it gave me an out. It gave me an off ramp and I took it. Obviously I wanted to romance Karlach throughout the game, and I messed that up and I wasn't able to do that. That's unfortunate. I think going back, that would be the only thing that I changed. Everything else I was 100% happy with. The way that our story played out was just miraculously amazing. And I do feel like it is canonical to play the game through as the Dark Urge. I don't foresee the game being any better if you're not playing as the Dark Urge. Especially because there's multiple options there, and you could play as an evil Dark Urge character and give into that and see how that changes. And now they've added a new ending to the game for that, so it's like, or rather, they've added new cinematic endings to the game for that, and that's awesome. Like, all of that stuff is amazing, and I wish that I had more time that I can actually go and do that, because it'd be cool to see how that goes. But man, like, yeah, everything with Karlach. I love that it gave me a choice to be like, I told you that I am gonna be by your side during this. Like, everybody else, they all kind of had their own thing going on. They could go live their lives and do their stuff. None of them were on the brink of death, bar Astarion, but he was able to get away from the sun and then, live out his life and kind of continue on. My character made a promise to Karlach that he would see this through and that they would get through this. And for him, as a paladin, making that oath, right? The way that it plays out in that way is just, it's so amazing that I had the opportunity to be like, no, Karlach, I am not letting you go down. I am going with you, and we're going to figure this out. And then to have that little bit where it's so simple. They didn't have to have it in there. They could have left it to my imagination. I could just said, yeah, we're going on adventures now and we're going to save her heart. But for her just to come and be like, yo, on the down low, I think I figured it out. And we can get into this forge and we can fix this. And it might be sooner than we think. Just to kind of put it in there to be like, yep, okay. That gave me, again, another ramp for my own storytelling here. My own role playing to be like, yeah, that's exactly what happens. They've been in Avernus absolutely becoming the Doom guy, just destroying demons. What my paladin is born to do, as you've noticed throughout the game. Anytime I fight undeads or demons or anything like that, I just dominate them. In fact, he just kills everything. He's so powerful. And Karlach is the same way as we saw throughout the game. Was she as powerful as him? No. But, wait, Ketheric Thorm? Was J.K. Simmons? Was it really? Hold on. I gotta Google that. Oh, let's go look at that. Let's see here. Okay. Google. You got a moment. We're just watching the credits. Google. Okay. Baldurs Gate. Boop, boop, boop. 3 J.K. Simmons. Is it really? It absolutely is J.K. Simmons. That's amazing. I guess that makes sense. You know what? Now that I think about his voice, that's cool. They have J.K. Simmons in this game. I love J.K. Simmons. Anyways, I'm just so happy with being able to be like, yeah, the story of my character is he and Karlach go into the Avernus, go into the Hells, just absolutely destroying demons all day. They're doing their thing. They're just crushing it. And that is why he is absolutely ripped now. Like he is in his Duffy. And then they find the blueprints. They find out how to get into this forge, and they find out how to fix her heart. And you damn well better know that they get in there and they do it and they get out, and then they're able to reunite with Shadowheart. They're able to reunite with Will and potentially Gale, depending on if he's too busy teaching people, and Astarion. And then the next thing we do, we go find a cure for Astarion. That's the next thing we do. That's it. That's our story. What we do after that, it's a mystery because we don't know anything past that. But yeah, that's what happens. I love this game. I don't know where it sits, but it is probably in my top 5 games of all time. That's a tough list. I keep having to bump really good games. Life is Strange was my #1 game of all time, and that has been bumped. Because, like, Hades is now there. And Hades 2 is about to come out. And then we, of course, have Baldur's Gate 3. Where does that sit? I don't know. I'm going to have to do, like, a really good think. Actually, this summer, my wife and I, we're going to sit down on the couch, play on Xbox, and I'm going to have her play through Life is Strange again. Or have her play through it for the first time. And that will give me a better understanding of where that falls on the top 5. Because it's still in there, but it's like, oof, where, you know? Anyways, I loved this story. I loved the story the dice told. You know, we had ones rolling everywhere, and it was so funny. And I think this is the best series I've ever done on the channel because of multiple things. First, you had the dice telling the story and all these really funny, hilarious things happening. You had us being able to roleplay a character just beyond anything we've ever been able to do ever on the channel. And we managed to tell a really compelling story with the assistance of the game. You like how I say that? Think about that for a second. We managed to tell a compelling story with the assistance of the game. The game, sure, has its story it's trying to tell, but it doesn't do it by itself. You have to engage with it. It is not the game that is telling the story. It is your character and your choices and what you're doing and everything within the game that you're interacting with that is telling the story. Therefore, you are telling the story with the assistance of the game, and I love that. That is such a 180 from everything that we see with story-based games. Mass Effect, perfect example. All the choices throughout the 3 Mass Effect games lead into a bottleneck because they have to boil them down. It's just too much to deal with back then. Now look at games like this. Like, they have so many things to adjust for based on the choices that you made. Like, Gale could just die within the first hour of the game. You could play the Dark Urge and just cut his hand off when it comes through the portal, and then he's not there for the rest of the game. Like, how does that change things? It changes a lot. And I love that. I love that they had the balls to do that, to make these insane decisions that completely change the way the game plays. And that's what I mean by you're telling a story with the assistance of the game, and that is exactly what happened. If anybody plays this game, if you want to get anybody into playing this game, just pitch it to them as you're role playing. Like, this is not you're watching a story happen. That's gonna be part of the experience, but you are telling the story. Your character is telling the story, and your choices are telling that story. It's unlike anything you've ever played, and it's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to thank everybody who has watched the series all the way through. This has been, by our count, I believe, my longest run series on the channel. And it's like, what, 110 episodes or something like that? I did 10. Let's see how much it's going to be. Because, again, I'm a few days ahead of you from when you're watching this. So we've got 108 and 109 were the previous two. So this is 110, 111. It's 111 episodes to get through. And a lot of those were like near an hour long. It's a lot. It is a lot. But it was one of the most fun series I've done, which is why I've done it in less than a year. Think about that. It took me longer than a year to get through Mass Effect. All 3 games, obviously, Legendary Edition. And many of the other major RPGs I've done in the past have been long. Witcher 3, for example. Took me a long time to get through that game. But you know what? I don't know how to describe it. I just had so much fun with this game. I had so much fun with this series. I had so much fun interacting with all of you guys. I want to thank you for coming on this journey with me, telling the story with me, being a part of the story, because your guys' comments and everything were assisting that. We were going through and having a lot of fun with silliness at times and a lot of heartbreak with others. And yeah, it's just, it was an amazing experience. And this has been my favorite series I've ever done on YouTube out of 13 years. That's crazy. That, you know, I feel like I'm in my prime, and I feel like, man, I really wish I could be going into my first year of YouTube like this. That would have been great. But alas, we're 13 years in and we're still making gold due to the amazing work of all these people. With all that being said, I don't know if there is a end credit scene. We're going to assume that there isn't. I believe my wife told me there isn't, but I don't remember. That was like a month ago that she said that. So we're going to let this play through. If there is an end credit scene, I'll put a text thing on the screen at the moment so you know to jump ahead. But if not, you can just listen to the amazing music and get through the end if you really want to. But I want to thank you once again for joining in. If you've made it this far, consider becoming a channel member. It would really help support the channel. You get some cool perks, and there's going to be some channel member stuff popping up really soon here with some early access stuff. And I'm really excited to see how that does. And of course, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? You've watched 111 episodes of this series and you haven't finished the subscribe button pushing. It takes 2 seconds. Go down there, hit it. You know what I mean? Like the video, all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, especially all of those who are a channel member or a patron and all that. Like you guys crush it. Thank you very, very much. But we shall see you all next time.
We pick our way over hill, moor, and changing you into me, and me into you. I meant to say that I love you, or maybe fear like a flame. What's happening to me? Firelight burning the tower. Hold tight, don't fight the power. Firelight burning the tower. Hold tight, don't fight, don't lose the power. I went away 'cause I missed you, or maybe you are not me, and am I truly you? Lantern with a star, heart hammering where you are. Step slow as a fall. Firelight burning the tower. Crowned light moon of I found you too soon. Shining star of mine, hold tight. Don't fight the power. Moonlight burning the flower. Hold tight, don't fight the power. Firelight burning the tower. Hold tight, don't fight, don't lose the power.
I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. Cold as death. I didn't know you well back then. I blame it on luck and fate. Luck and fate. Your blood like wine, I wanted in. Oh, darling, get me drunk and make me feel it's not my fault. I'm not to blame. These ain't my sins. I broke my chains. There's more to do, and I still want to live.
I feel your breath bound, our bodies know. Your blood like wine, I want it in. Oh, darling, get me drunk, invite me. It's not my fault, I'm not to blame. These ain't my sins, I broke my chains. There's more to do if I can only leave. I can't go yet, don't let me die. I'll never stop until I'm done. But just tonight, maybe I'll rest in peace. I feel your breath upon my neck, a soft caress as cold as death. I hear your heart beating my soul. Our endings bound, our bodies know. I can't go yet, don't let me die. I want to live, my only one. There's more to do if we can only live. The clock won't stop, and this is what we get.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
What is that even supposed to mean? There's more going on with Withers than I think he wants to admit.